wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me.
Yep, it's your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, bringing you another edition of Motivational Monday, episode 83 of Awaken Your I Am. Woo! I'm excited about coming into your homes tonight because I have a Motivational Monday tonight that really is going to hit home, and I couldn't wait to get in front of my computer screen tonight just to be able to break this bread for you all. I'm starting to see people starting to add up out here. If you would, drop a line down there. Tell your boy what's up. Seeing the eyes start to add up. For all my replayers, please give me about a minute and a half as I share this out. And as you pop in here, I see somebody on my other phone. What's up, Periscope? It's your boy. Y'all know who it is. I see some Periscope people out there. YouTube, Facebook. If you out there, holla at your boy. Uh-oh. And I ask you all, please, if you're out there, share this to all your social media outlets as well. Hey, what's up, Vanika? Like always, prompt and ready to break bread. I appreciate your diligence, and I appreciate you being here. If you would, please share this to, and now my phone pretends like it doesn't want to work, but it will work. So if y'all would, please share this out to all your social media outlets along with me, as I'm trying to share it out on mine. Thank you, Vanika, and I'm sharing it now. Hope you all are having a wonderful day out there. Give me about another minute and a half as I was couldn't share earlier. Hey, what's up out there? Holler at your boy as we begin to share this out. We're going to go into this bread-breaking moment. Please invite your mama and them, your cousin them. Let them know you don't want to miss tonight, because the power of a disciplined mind is going to bring us the results that we want in our life. See, there's so many people out there that are wishing that they had something more, wishing that they could do things more. But the reality is we all have more on the inside of us. But there are only a few of us that decide to discipline our minds in order to be able to walk in the good of the land. I'm going to break bread with this tonight. So if you would, please share this, like this, host watch parties with it. And it looks like there's some kind of hold up right now on Facebook for whatever reason it is. I'm going to see, can I share this out a couple more spots? And then we're going to get ready to break this bread. Y'all give me a few more seconds. Give me a few more seconds. All right, starting to see Facebook now, starting to get on here. I knew there was something going on. All right, y'all. I'm your boy. We're 3 minutes in. The motivational teacher to the masses. Want to give people an opportunity to get on here tonight. Tonight is going to be one of these waging war on mediocrity words that is coming directly for your humanity. Yep, we're coming directly for your humanity tonight. We've talked about your deity all last year. This year, we want to deal more with your humanity and you walking out in the earth what God has already given you in the heavens. That right there alone will break bread. But see, I know that there's something special about you. I know that there's greatness within you. Motivational teacher to the masses. Why is it that my life doesn't reflect what you're saying? It's because, ladies and gentlemen, we have to get to the place where our I am is awakened. The awakened I am attracts everything that was yours before the foundation of the earth. I'm going to break bread before this night is over. The awakened I am puts you in a place to where the great I am can give to you, because he uses your awakened I am as a conduit system to get things from heaven to earth. I just broke bread right there. Somebody out there gonna hear that tomorrow and they gonna understand what I just said. You are a conduit. You manifest resources from above to be manufactured and spread throughout the earth. You wonder why your life is feeling so unfulfilled, because your life was meant to be a conduit system. Your life was never meant for you just to own the cattle on 1,000 hills without you being able to disperse that amongst the earth. You are a conduit system. Somebody need to put that in the chat. This is just a little appetizer to get you ready tonight. This is just an appetizer, because where I'm going tonight, it requires that you have to see the big picture in order to want to discipline your mind. Disciplining our mind is not an easy process. I'm gonna break bread. I see some more eyes out there, man. Y'all holler at your boy as you come on here, man. Y'all don't go to people's house and not speak. Don't hop on this live and don't say, "What's up, motivational teacher?" So I need you to see the big picture for your life as I begin to talk about a disciplined lifestyle, or having a disciplined mind. I'm not even talking about a disciplined lifestyle. If we have a disciplined mind, it will lead the life that we live. That's why I'm so amazed that when I grew up in the church, when people come to the church, the first thing we start telling them, you can't drink, you can't smoke, stop fornicating, don't steal, don't kill. We're all dealing with the symptoms of the problems, and we're never dealing with the behavior. What's up, big cuz? What's up, bro? Thank you for joining us tonight. We always mere humans love dealing with symptoms and never want to deal with the root. And today I am coming to deal with the root only. I'm about to break bread. I'm coming to deal with the root, because I know what's on the inside of you, Vaniqua, because I know what's on the inside of you. It's greatness. Greatness reside. God sent you to the earth for a cause such as this. Hey, Beverly, thank you for joining us. Way to wake up out there, Facebook. Hey, Beverly, thank you for joining us. Hey, God sent you to the earth for a day such as this. I mean, we are living in a time right now where resources are enormous. We're living in a time with this one device. I'm connected to over 6 billion people. I could go right now and get a $500,000 mortgage from this phone right here and pay houses and buy houses from this device. We are connected to the world in this single small individual device. I'm telling you, resources are unlimited right now. And I need for you to know that there's greatness on the inside of you, because this word tonight is going to require that you begin to love yourself. It's going to require that you start disciplining your mind in order to attain all the good that God wants to do through you. I started this conversation by saying you are a conduit. You are a conduit. You were meant to disperse resources from the heavens into the earth. Come on, Vaniqua. I needed that reminder. Holla at your boy. Join it. I'm telling you all, it's going to be a bread-breaking moment. Episode 83. The power of a disciplined mind. Awaken your I am. The power of a disciplined mind. I want to start this conversation off with a question. Are you living life, or are you paying bills until you die? Are you really engaged mentally into your life, the awakened moments on earth? Are you really taking thought about, what am I going to do tomorrow? What are my goals? What are my wildly important goals? What are my leading and lagging indicators? Am I engaged into my own life, into what the outcomes of my life? In this life, you don't get what you want. In this life, sometimes you don't even get what you pray for. In this life, you get what you can create. I just broke bread. In this life, you get what you can create. Somebody need to tweet that. Somebody need to tell mama and them that. Somebody need to go ahead and go on down there on the corner where the people holding the bottle and trying to take another sip. Somebody need to go down there and let them know that in this life, you get what you create. The version of who you are today, you created that with your thinking. You get what you create. I can't be mad at my boss for not promoting me. I created it. I can't get mad at my mama or my daddy for not doing something for me. This seat that I'm in, I created it. I don't always, listen now, I'm gonna break bread. I don't always get what I pray for. You can fast and pray all night, and you might not get it because why? I didn't create it. You got to understand that we get in this life what we're willing to create, and it requires that a disciplined mind is in need in order to create. That's why it's amazing, man. My favorite book, y'all know it, the Bible. When God sent his son to the earth, and he could have called his followers anything he wanted. He could have called them great men. He could have called them wise men. He could have called them Pharisees. He could have called them Sadducees. He could have called them Republicans. He could have called them Democrats. He decided and he chose to call them disciples. Come on, man. You got to read into that with me. He decided out of all the words in the vocabulary, and you got to know that God's vocabulary is vast. He looked from the heavens and created the earth. Don't you know God could have called us anything to come in the present or was or has been, and he chose to call us disciples. Come on, Joy. Thank you for joining us. He decided to call us disciples or disciplined ones. Because when he looked out and saw Abram, he said, I'm calling you Abraham. Your name is now Israel. Why? Because he looked at him and said, this is who you have to become in order to eat the good of my land. In order for the great I am to awaken your I am, he has to be able to call you a disciplined one or a disciple. Why? The root word being discipline. Why is it so important that we live a disciplined life? And I'm talking about now, episode 83, Awaken Your I Am, the power of a disciplined mind. What is it with a disciplined mind that the great I am decided to call his top 12 men disciples? Thank you, Tamiko, for joining us, bro. We missed you. We're glad to have you back. Why is it that he decided to call them disciples? Come on, man, I'm going to break bread today. He could have called them anything. He called them disciples. Why is it so important that they discipline their mind and discipline their thinking? Why is it so important that you begin to discipline your mind and discipline your thinking? Because he understood that the life that he wanted us to live was right on the other side of us being able to make choices that are not for me today, but are better for me later on. Most mere humans only want to live for today. I gotta break bread. I gotta break bread. Y'all chime in this conversation. Vaniqua said purpose. Come on. Most mere humans only want to make decisions for today. I'll cheat on my taxes because I only got to live for the day. I claim kids that don't belong to me because I'm only trying to eat the day. I'll steal time from my job because I only got to live to eat today. I would cheat on my spouse. Why? Because I'm only thinking about today. I'm not thinking about what are the outcomes or what's going to happen to after that. But I only make decisions that are selfish and self-centered based on my today. And he said a disciplined one, a disciple cannot make decisions based on the day. So motivational teacher to the masses, what are the benefits to disciples if he felt the need to call me one? I'm going to break bread before this is over. See, a disciple provides people, discipline provides people with rules to live their lives efficiently and effectively. And I really dislike that word rules. I like to say, discipline provides people with the structure to live their lives efficiently and effectively. Discipline does that. I understand that if I smoke cigarettes for 25, 30 years, lung cancer just may be in my future based on my lack of discipline. If I eat all kind of fatty foods and hamburgers and drink all the sugary drinks, I understand that diabetes and heart disease is in my future. Why? Because my disciplines bring me long-term results. Conversely, if I work out and run and do the things I'm supposed to do, then long life may be farther in my future than diabetes. It's all, I talked about it last week. Life is a set of negotiations. I talked about it last night for 1 hour, that life is a set of negotiations. And this is no different. Either I choose to be disciplined today or I will eat the fruit of my decisions tomorrow. Either I choose to believe that there's so much more on the inside of me that I cannot make decisions about my tomorrow today negatively, knowing that there's greatness on the inside of me. Come on, man. Thank you, Joy, for tagging people in this video. I'm telling you, I know this is not a popular one, not popular tonight, but I got to help people to understand that the power of a disciplined mind gets you everything you want out of this earth. A disciplined mind help people live their lives efficiently and effectively. Think about the amount of resources we waste day by day. Because to Vaniqua's point earlier, we are not living on purpose. When we don't know the purpose of a thing, the human mind tends to abuse it. If I don't know the purpose for my life, then I might be an alcoholic. If I don't know the purpose of my life, then I might just work on a job 40 years, get a gold watch, and retire on social insecurity. If I don't know the purpose of my life, I don't know what it is to discipline my life, because what I discipline when there is no vision to make for the people. Where there is no vision, the vision that people will perish. If there is no vision in your life, then you will perish. I'm breaking bread. Somebody just said, master your thoughts, or someone else will master them for you. That is so true. Master your thoughts, or somebody else will master them for you. You got, man, I'm breaking bread so plainly tonight, because the more and more I study, and the more and more I think about the experiences that I have, I'm starting to learn that life is not about what happens to you. Oh man, I know somebody been hurt by somebody so bad. I know somebody has been molested by somebody so bad. I know we've all had a set of circumstances in our life that we want to say made us a certain way. But the more and more I begin to study this thing out as the motivational teacher to the masses, I'm starting to find that the results of our life, where we are in this moment of time, has very little to do with people externally, but has everything to do with how we create internally. I told you last week, I meet nobody but me. I told you last week, everybody I come into contact with that rubbed me the wrong way is a lesson about me. We had a situation this week on my secular job. Promotion came up. My name wasn't in for the promotion. Somebody called me and said, "Hey, why didn't they bring you in for that? Why didn't they ask you if you wanted that?" I said, "Listen, man, God holds the king's heart in his hand like putty. When it's my turn, it's my time, and can't no devil in hell stop that. Why? Because my I am is awakened. When it's my time, it's my turn, and nothing can do anything about that. Nobody can take me off my center of what I believe. I'm not going to get bitter. I'm not going to start complaining about what don't belong to me. I'm not going to start whining. I'm not going to do a lesser job. But why? Because God holds the king heart in his hand like putty. Listen, man, even the king don't make the decisions. God, man, come on, man. Either my I am is awakened, or I'm out here just like a clinging symbol. No, see, there are moments in your life that comes to reveal who the great I am is through you. 5 years ago, I would have left kicking and screaming, talking about, oh man, it was my turn. I'm black, this, that, and the other. No, I endure like a good soldier. Why? Because they don't control the outcome of my life. I'm breaking bread right now. I don't have to go write a dissertation about how it didn't work for me. Why? Because life is more about my response than the stimuli. That situation was just stimuli to see what was on the inside of me. Would I respond harshly? Would I respond as a person with no faith? Will I respond as if my I am isn't awakened? It was just a situation to show me who I am becoming. Come on, man. That was never meant to be mine. It was just shown to say, are you really the motivational teacher, or do you sit across here and just talk about it? I'm telling you, man, I'm sorry. I'm not built to be phony and fake. I only talk about what I've lived. And for some of you all, I get it, that my life has been so narrow that it doesn't fit into the narrative of your own life. I get it. And you say, okay, you ain't the one for me. That's okay. But I only talk from my own experiences and what I know. Why in the world do you think the Bible is written in parables? Come on, man. It's written in parables because he had to break it down so people can understand it and get the revelation out of the parable and apply it to their life. Why do the motivational teacher talk through life experiences? Because I want you to see the parallelism to your life. Take the experience, learn from mine. You don't have to make the same one and be able to walk from it. Come on, man. I'm breaking bread right now. I got some people chiming. Hey, Angie, thank you for joining us. I got some people chiming into this conversation. Yes, my change of thinking, Vanika, yes, my change of thinking has changed so much. I would cry and worry and cry. Man, been there before too, Vanika. Been there before because we are, all right, Vanika, you sending it. This is what makes me, this is why I'm a motivational teacher. You're sending me down a path I wasn't ready to go. But I'm going to break bread, Vanika, and I think we can all learn from what you just said because we become so emotionally involved in our situation of what's going on in our life that we can't tend to see beyond the circumstances. I just broke bread. We can't see beyond the circumstances. And we believe that my version of that story is the only version of the story. And I've rehearsed it so many times. And here we go. My disciplined thinking about this situation has put me in my own pit that I created from my own I am. And as long as I allow myself to create that pit, I can never outperform or be greater than the pit. I'm about to break bread. And the moment, oh my God, I got to do it. The moment I rob the pit of its power by changing what I believe about that story, it's the moment I become free indeed. Life is a negotiation. I was on there, Angelique was on there with me yesterday. I was on a live with somebody else just listening. You have to, life is a negotiation. If you want to be rich, you got to get up poor. I broke bread. Rich and poor cannot reside in the same house. Love and hate cannot reside in the same house. God, either you got to love one and hate the other. In order to gain the opposite, I got to break bread right now. If I want to gain happiness, I got to be willing to give up sadness. If I want to gain prosperity, I got to be willing to give up brokenness. If I want to gain happiness, if I want to gain healing in my body, I got to be willing to give up sickness. And see, there's so many people that don't have the discipline to give up what they have in order to attract what they don't have. I just broke bread. And that's why we have to have the power of a disciplined mind. Man, this is so important right now. Tonight, man, this is so important. Faith is also about remembering what God has brought us through. Remembering increases of faith at all times. Life is a negotiation. Got to choose what we focus on. I love it. She said, until I changed my thinking, I would cry and worry and cry. She said, I had control over my crying and I had control over my worrying. It never was the situation. It was the moment where I took control back over my life. Remember, discipline provides us with the structure to live our lives effectively and efficiently. When you have discipline in our life, you can make small sacrifices in the present for a better life in the future. I'm going to say that again. When you have discipline in your life, you can make small sacrifices for today for a better life in the future. I'm about to break bread. And the challenge with most people is they cannot see beyond their today. Come on, Beverly. They cannot see beyond their today. And so they only make choices in their life and they make decisions in their life only about today. And the thing that I love about God, the great I am, is that he told Abraham to go. He told Abram to go. He didn't show him where he was going. He said, man, you going to a land I'll show you later. He said, just go. The challenge with most of us is that we don't have the discipline. Come on, Deborah. We don't have the discipline to step out when I do not know the whole story. Because our mind feeds us a story that does not fit the great I am narrative, but it does fit my narrative to stay in my comfort zone. I just broke bread. And the moment we begin to tell ourselves what the narrative is for 5 years down the road, if I take my step or I don't take my step, is the moment where we become powerless over our thinking. We give up. I love it. I love it. The scripture says this, that the enemy, he comes like a roaring lion, with no teeth. He just roaring, really having no power. Did you know that if you walk out in your yard and a lion roared at you, the best thing you could do is stand there and not run? The moment you run is the moment he run after you. The best chance you got to stand alive is standing there showing no fear. Why is that, Ant? And that's why our enemy seeks like a roaring lion, trying to see what you believe on the inside of you. That lion was never meant that. Oh, let me say, there's a hedge around your life. That roaring lion could never take you out. That sickness should never take you out. That disease should never take you out. That bankruptcy was never meant for you to be broke your whole life, but it was a roaring lion that we decided to run from. And as long as we keep running, that lion will never allow us to come above the ground. We will always stay in the pit because we cannot discipline our mind to be able to make decisions or to encourage behaviors that drive our decision making, that leads us to prosperity, or that leads us to healing, or that leads us to belief. That's the moment. That's the moment. We have to learn how to discipline it. Vanico said the number one cause of suicide, unfortunately, is not thinking past today. Yeah, you breaking bread, my dude. I'm going to do it today. Yeah, Vanico. And I say it this way. Never make a permanent decision. Never make a permanent decision based on a temporary problem. All of these problems that we see are temporary. I started this thing out by saying, in life, you only get what you create. If you want to sit somewhere different, or if you want to do something different, create it. Create it. See, what the challenge for most of us, and Vaniqua, you kind of alluded to this earlier. The challenge for most of us is that we have an attachment to unpleasant circumstances that blinds us from seeing another viewpoint. Our attachment to unpleasant circumstances sometimes blinds us from being able to see another viewpoint. And that's why, that's why my favorite book, The Great I Am, has always been looking to awaken your I am through changing your thinking. Let this mind that be in Christ be also in you. You know, all these things, choose life and death is before you. Choose life. The power of the tongue, all of this stuff is trying to change us. Meditate on me day and night and observe to do. All of that word is meant to change us. We talked about that last night. If you do good, will it not be accepted? All of that stuff is meant to try to condition your mind to be a disciple. Oh, my bad. To be a disciplined one. All the whole time we've been thinking that the Bible was a book of rules. No, it's been a mechanism to get your mind to think in the pattern of total life prosperity. That's why ain't nobody, man, I'm telling you right now. That's why I'm telling you right now. The whole time you've been running from what he called you to do. And he's saying, discipline your mind so you can run to me. Stop running from what you don't know and say, I'm going to embrace it. Carol Dweck has a whole book on the growth mindset, that I'm going to have a growth mindset that whatever I don't know or whatever I lack, I have the true ability to grow it. Some of us need to disrupt ourselves. Boy, I just broke bread. You need to disrupt yourself. You've been living too comfortable already for the last 10 years. You need to disrupt your own life. You need to go in your life and say, man, what can I take up? What can I pluck? Man, listen to this. Yourself is nothing more than what you believe it to be. Yourself is nothing more than what you believe it to be. The moment you believe you can walk out that phone booth as Superman, you give up your Clark Kent glasses. You give up your Clark Kent glasses because Superman is on the inside of me. You got to disrupt your own Clark Kent. Oh, man. But it's so tough that me being Superman, I put myself out there to be ridiculed. I put myself out there to be talked about. I put myself out there to be different. I put myself out there to be a disciple. I just broke bread. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. You got to disrupt yourself. You got to decide, I just say me, I don't know who me is. Like me just said, the boat never sank with the water around it. It only sank in chaos when the water get in the boat. Don't worry about what's outside the boat. You got to control what's inside the boat. Your boat can never sink as long as you own your own mind. You have a disciplined mindset. But the problem is that you allowed the water on the inside of you, and it has disrupted everything that the great I am has called you to do on this earth, and wondering why I'm so unhappy right now. I'm wondering why my life just seems like it's going in a downward spiral. My life just seems like it's so out of control. My life just seems as if it is a roller coaster and it's twists and turns. Why? Because I don't control my own thinking. Come on, stars. I don't control my own thinking. I've given my thinking up to my boss. I've given my thinking up to my mom and them. I've given my thinking up to my friends and them. I've given my thinking up to my uncles and them. And I don't now, the discipline of my thinking, I have now given it, upon it, or I've given my greatest asset in the hands of fools to shape my life. Boy, that's what we do. Well, they said I couldn't do it. They said I never, who sang that song? They said I wouldn't make it. They said I wouldn't be here today. James Cleveland, we've given our secret weapon. If I'm Iron Man, I've given the thing in my chest. If I'm Thor, I've given my doggone hammer to somebody who doesn't have my best interest in heart. If I'm Captain America, I've given my shield to somebody that does not have my best interest in heart. Your shield, your Thor hammer is your mind. Learn, grow, and discipline your own mind. It's time to disrupt your life. Yourself is nothing more than what you believe it to be. You must remove all the internal and external definitions of yourself that limit your progress in life. You can't label me. I'm gonna break bread. I am not just a basketball player. I am not just a motivational teacher. I am not just a husband. I am not just a manager. I am not. You cannot, don't allow people to put labels on you. What humans want to do, they only see you where they met you. Don't you know it's still people out there calling Jesus baby Jesus, and he's been grown on the throne for a long time. People have the inability to get past where they met you. That's why you got to dismiss some people out your life. I remember when I was living in my colleague's closet. There are some people in my life right now that cannot get beyond that version of who I am. I have some family members that cannot get past the version of who Lil Tony is. They don't. I have some family members. I got a Series 7, 63, and 26. I can manage a Morgan Stanley, but I have people in my family that will not ask me about money advice because they cannot get past who Lil Tony is. And I challenge you right now, do not let people define you where they met you. Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. The moment you allow them to define you is the moment where you give up your power to become more than what you believe you are. You have to protect this with everything that's on the inside of you. Come on, I'm not just a single mother. I'm not just a nurse. There's more to you than met the eye. And the challenge with them putting you in a box is if people call you something for a long enough period of times, there's a piece of us that believe we should start conforming to what they call us. Oh my God, I'm gonna break bread. That's why you never call somebody something that you don't want them to be. I don't say, hey, you're a C student, you're average. No, sir, no, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. In this moment in time, I may have performed average, but what I am is not average. Because if I lack a skill in any area of my life, what's up, Phaedra? If I lack a skill in any area of my life, I have the ability and to go out and grow it. And that is not who I am. What I am is a child of the Most High. What I have access to is cattle on 1,000 hills. I got resources at my disposal at any moment. Don't dare let people define who you are or tell you what you cannot do. See, that's the disciplined thinking right there. That I never come off what I believe I am because the great I am has called me that. If I'm more than a conqueror, then you can set before me what you want to. I will slay it, and maybe I don't slay it how I thought I should slay it, or maybe it takes me longer to slay it than I thought I should have to slay it. But at the end of the day, slaying is what it will be. Not because I'm so mighty and strong, but because that's what he said about me, and my thinking would not let me come off of that position. Come on, boy. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. This right here, it controls me. It controls you. And the moment you give that up is the moment you allow somebody else to control you. You can't fire me from a job. I'm breaking bread. You cannot fire me from a job because I am more than that situation. I put a bid in for a big speaking engagement. They didn't hire me. That don't change who I am. That don't change. Oh, I guess I need to go back to the drawing board and figure out who I'm supposed to be. No, sir. No, ma'am. Just one. That one just wasn't mine. I am still the motivational teacher to the masses. Whether they hire me or not does not change my plight and my life at all. And I think there are too many of us that allow ourselves to be. We allow ourselves to set our agenda based on somebody else's opinion. The moment you start believing more into what other people says about your I am is the moment you give up your power. See, I trust, man, listen, I say it all the time. Me plus the great I am, we are the majority. We are the majority. The father of psychoanalysis, Carl Jung, said this. Y'all, this is strong. He said, your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Stop. Say like pause. Come to think about that. Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Your vision can only become clear when you look into your own heart. And when you look into your own heart, it's going to reveal one or two things to you. Either I am not at, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. A man doesn't know his own heart. You think about it. It's going to either reveal that I've been speaking with my mouth and my heart has been far away from my words. Yeah, straight true. Come on, dog. Come on, Styles. Either it's going to say that I've been speaking with my mouth and my heart is disconnected, or either it's going to say this situation that I am is not where I truly am because my heart is greater and my heart is stronger than the seat I sit in right now. It's going to reveal who you truly are. See, that's why, I think we got it wrong in America today that we look for everything and everybody else to define us, whereas the gift has been hidden on the inside of us. He said, your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart. Check this out. He who looks outside dreams. He who looks inside awakens. Oh my God. The awakened I am is all about looking on the inside. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. He that looks outside dreams. And that is amazing. And I want you all to dream. And I want you all to go in the neighborhoods and look at houses. I want you all to go visit businesses that ultimately your vision looks like. I go to seminars. Hey, what's up, Tina? I go to seminars with famous motivational speakers. I go to seminars with people who've done this for a long time. But he that looks outside only dreams. But he that looks inside awakens. You can go to all those seminars you want. And if you never begin to awaken your I am, you're doing exactly what you're doing. You're going. That's why you see, hey, what's up, Phaedra? That's why you can see 1,000 people go to the same church and only 2 people come out with manifestation. Why? Because the rest of them were just dreaming. Never working on themselves, never disciplining their mind to be able to build behaviors to change their life. They were going there, they were shouting, they were saying, well, it's all mine. You can go to the same job and you can have 100 people working the same position and 1 will be promoted or 2 will be promoted. Why? Because they created what they wanted to see. And I'm challenging you all right now. He who looks on the inside awakens. I'm challenging you all right now to awaken your I am. I'm challenging you to stop looking to some person to come and lay hands on you, pray for you. Stop looking for some person to tell you, I need the prophet on 1,000 hills to come tell me who I am. No, You only need to awaken. You've been in a slumber that you haven't even figured out who you are. Phaedron, I read one of your posts earlier today when you say it's time for me, the real me, to come up. And I'm saying that to all of us. It's time for the real me to arise and go take my rightful spot. Right now, I've been playing too long in my own mind, wondering if I. It's time out for the ifs, and now it's time to say when. When am I going to? David knew he was king from the time he went down there and defeated Goliath. He didn't need a crown to see it. He did not need a crown to know he was king. Why? Because he had the promise. And I'm challenging some of you all to believe more in the promise than you do the crown. I just broke bread. I just broke bread. Somebody need to get in that chat box. I don't need the crown. I got the promise. Come on, man. Somebody holler at your boy. I don't need the crown. I got the promise. The promise is better than the crown because you can get the crown and lose it. The promise is with you always. Somebody holler at your boy. I don't put my faith in the things that are seen. I put them in the things that are unseen because if I believe it here, I can attract it out there. Man, I just broke bread. Believe the promise more than the crown. See, people on earth, and I'm getting so far behind. See, I'm gonna tell you about mere humans. People on earth have very little discipline to be able to work towards something when they don't see the results. Come on, man. What's up, Peggy? Thank you for joining us. Live that faith. People on earth, little mere humans, have a very difficult time putting off what I want today for what I want eventually. Have very little time. See, they need the crown in order to justify who they are. I don't need the crown because I got the promises. If I got the promises, I got the crown. But I don't need the crown in order for me to start believing I got the promises. And see, most of us believe in reverse. Well, when I become king, I am going to do, or when I get to my wealthy place, I will start, or once I get my business, I'm going to change the world. No, change the world before you get to business. And when you get to business, you'll already be able to change the world. I just broke bread. See, so many of us are thinking that it has to be so grand that we neglect what I can do today. There's something you can do today in order to change the world, or whatever your promise you've been given. There's something you can do today. Stop relying on tomorrow. Well, I'm going to wait until tomorrow. Come on, man. Discipline your thinking and do it today. Discipline your mind and do it today. Well, I got to wait for this to happen. Do you have the promise? Do you have the promise? If you got the promise, you don't need the crown. Stop waiting on well, if I had this loan, I'll be able to do it. You don't need the loan. You got the promise. Oh, my God. That's bread-breaking moment right there. That is, come on, Q. What up, bro? That is a bread-breaking moment. I feel that with everything in me. I got the promise. I don't need the masses. Boy, oh, my God, I'm breaking bread right now. I am breaking bread. I got to Selah pause. Calmly think about that. Selah pause. Calmly think about that. Ladies and gentlemen, either we are believers or we're not. And see, the challenge with having a disciplined mindset, it requires that I give more today than what I see in return. It requires that my investment in today is much greater than the return I see today. It requires that I give more today than I get out the ground today. And the challenge with the disciplined mindset is how many days can I give and not withdraw? Oh my God, I'm about to break bread. There are so many divorces that happen because people are looking for reciprocity. I ain't saying that. They're looking for something to be even. They're looking for the 50-50, or they're looking for somebody to do it. Or there are a lot of people unhappy right now because I'm not getting the return that I expected out of the ground when I put a few seeds in. My question to you is, I gotta break bread. Are you disciplined enough to keep putting seed in the ground when you don't see it bud? Are you disciplined enough to keep going to that same plot of land day after day to water it when you don't see what you think you should see? Are you disciplined enough to go there 3, 5, 10 years when you don't see the harvest that you expect to see? Are you disciplined enough to keep going back? That's what a disciple does. A disciple keeps building when I don't see what my return today. The investment is greater today because I'm prepared for my tomorrow. I got to do it. But mere carnal, lukewarm people says, well, if I don't get what I put in, then I ain't going to keep going doing that. And you got people around you that celebrate that thought. They celebrate the thought that you're not going to keep going and putting seed in the ground because they're going to do me wrong. I get them all my time and I don't get nothing in return. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. That's that unbridled, that's that undisciplined thinking that will always lead you to debt. That's that unlimited, that undisciplined mindset that's going to lead you to unbelief. That's that one that when you should be walking in the blessing, you only going to be walking in a portion of it because you only got the discipline or the faith to only keep putting a portion of the seed into the ground. Well, why my harvest don't seem like it's going to ever come? Because you ain't disciplined enough to be able to water and fertilize your harvest every day because you don't see the harvest. Even though I keep watering the ground, I know my harvest is in the ground. I show up here on Monday nights. Why? Because I know my harvest is somewhere on the other side of these eyes. I don't control when my harvest comes in. I only control how I till the ground. Oh my God, I just broke bread. I only control how I till the ground. I don't control when my fruit begins to bud. I don't control when my seed starts to come out the ground. I control how I water it, how I take care of the earth, how I till the land. And it's up to God to yield the harvest. See, some of us, we're trying to own the why, the how, the what, the when. And I'm telling you right now, that is the product of an undisciplined mindset, You don't control, you only control the why. You control one aspect of what you do. That is the why I got 3 ways to discipline your mind. I ain't got there yet. And I don't know if I'm gonna get there tonight. But you only control the why. You only control the why. And the moment you try to control the how, what, and when is the moment you become so frustrated and undisciplined in your thinking, you believe that now I gotta go out and make the masses come to me instead of the great I am awakening my I am to attract the masses. And we wonder why there's so many people that's been hurt by speakers, churches, or whatever. It's because many of us went to look for the masses instead of us waiting and putting the right seed in the ground, and we bud in due season, and then we go get something when we're not supposed to have it. Why is there foreclosure, Aunt? Because I went and got something when I wasn't supposed to have it. Why did they come repossess the car, Aunt? Because I went and got something and it wasn't the fullness of time. It was not the fullness of time. And sometimes the undisciplined mindset will allow us to get something before the fullness of time, and it costs you more pain than it does profit. It costs you more pain than it does joy because you got it out of the wrong season, because you got tired of putting seed in the ground and just not getting what you thought you deserved. Too much too soon. The undisciplined mind, ladies and gentlemen, will lead to more and more unbelief. It will lead to more and more unhappiness. It will lead to more unhappiness. He who looks inside, awaken. God is all about the process to have your I am awakened. The only thing that stands between you and everything that God has already given you before the foundation of the earth is your awakened I am. It is you bridling, and it's you disciplining your mind and disciplining your thoughts in order to encourage the right behaviors in order to get the true harvest. Well, some people, and I don't break bread on this one too, because some people believe their intuitions more than they believe their disciplined mind. Some people believe their feelings more than they do their disciplined mind. I say it all the time that we have to learn how to express our emotions in words and not in actions. We have to learn to be able to converse without all the profanity and without all the curse words. We have to learn how to express ourselves through our communication, because that's what a disciplined mindset does. All the extracurricular and neck rolling and the throwing and the slamming and the punching and the yelling and the cussing. Why? Because I'm afraid that all of that is insecurity showing up in one fashion or another. The disciplined mindset says, come on, man. I know I'm stepping on some toes right now, but I'm trying to get you out of Lodabar and get you to where you're supposed to be. And that's going to only come when you begin to change your thinking. You see, I love this about the kingdom, and I'm way off where I'm supposed to be going. But I love this thing about God and the way he awakens our I am. He said, in order to find yourself, you got to lose yourself. In order to find yourself, you got to lose yourself. And see, so many of us are so afraid of losing ourselves that I can never find myself. I'm so caught up in who I thought I was and what I saw growing up that I ain't my mama always told me, don't let no man take advantage of me. My always told me, don't you go giving your woman don't go giving your money to no woman. My uncle told me a man's supposed to have 2-3 women all at one time, and we're so busy trying to hold on to what God has told us to lose. In order to find yourself, what's up, coach? In order to find yourself, you got to be willing to lose yourself. It's only in the kingdom where you hear those kind of words. That the only way to get more is to give more. Boy, I just broke bread. The only way if you want friends, then you have to show yourself friendly. See, you don't hear this kind of talk from other motivational speakers. I'm the motivational teacher up in here tonight. And I'm breaking bread. And see, the moment we start beginning to discipline our mind, Coach T had a really good post this week where it looked like, I don't know how much he lost, but he lost a tremendous amount of weight. Why? Because he had to give up the heavy version of who he was in order to accept what he was created to be. If he never could give up the version of who he was today for the version he could be tomorrow, he never would have changed his diet. He never would have changed how he was eating. He never would have changed how he was exercising. Why? Because he had to give up that version. In order to find yourself, you got to what? Lose yourself. And there's so many of us that have not had a renewed mind that we're trying to get a new me with this old mindset, and it is impossible to do. In order to get something, you got to give up something. Life is a negotiation. Life is a negotiation. There, you got to give up something. Or let's say it this way. He who put his hands to the plow and look back is not fit for the kingdom. My question to you is, what is that saying? Discipline your mind and set your thoughts on things above. Set your thoughts on where you're going. Stop pondering about what's in your past and what was wrong. Man, I'm breaking. Come on, coach. I'm breaking. Man, when you start to look back, you're saying, I don't believe that what's before me is greater than what's behind me. What you're saying is, I don't believe my latter is greater than my former. I don't believe that the years that the cankerworm stole can be restored unto me. See, that's so many, man, we're walking in that old, undisciplined mindset. We're walking in that old undisciplined mindset, and you got to give that version of who you are up. I just broke bread. You have to give that version of who you are up. So once your mind becomes disciplined, it is extremely difficult to tolerate ignorance. You just said that. I call it divine reduction at that point. Focus on old glory gets you to old results. To find yourself, you must lose yourself. Man, that is so true. To find yourself, you got, man, hey, that is a bread-breaking moment right there. Somebody needed that to know that it's okay, that I can change the narrative about the story I've been telling me about my life. I know my dad, the first time I visited my dad in prison, I was 7. I remember the doors, wham, closing. I remember us getting a hamburger out of the vending machine. I remember that in Clio, Alabama. I remember going to visit my dad a second time in prison. My dad died in prison. All my uncles went to prison on my dad's side. None of them had a high school diploma. But in order to find yourself, you got to lose yourself. I had to tell myself, Aunt, you're more than this situational circumstance that you can. I know they label you as a statistic, but Aunt, you're more than what you came from. right now. It's just that they didn't have what you have to be able to make different decisions. I was the first male on my dad's side to graduate from high school. I was the first male on my mom and my dad's side to graduate from college. Why? And because I had to give up the version of Lil Tony of who I was growing up in that environment to say, no, my name is Anthony D. Williams. I'm distinguished, and that I can do all things through him who strengthens me. I had to change the story that I believed about me. I'm greater than my environment. My environment was never meant to shape who I was be, but I was supposed to learn from my environment to help other young males to overcome their environment. See, ladies and gentlemen, the very thing that you've allowed yourself, you've given yourself to who you believe you are, could not be true. You got to lose yourself. And I ain't quoting Eminem. I ain't quoting Eminem and losing yourself. Even he had that revelation that you got to lose yourself. And the moment you begin to give up your old disciplines and give up the old story that you believed about you, the moment you begin to forget those things that are behind and press toward those things that are before, is the moment you have the power of a disciplined mind. I just broke bread. I had 3 ways to discipline your mind, but I don't want to mess up tonight. Tonight, as Q would say, like, I've given enough bread tonight. We need to meditate on what I just talked about. I'll come back next week with 3 ways to discipline your mind, but we need to meditate on what I just talked about. It's a lot of unpacking. And see, I gotta keep talking about mere humans. What mere humans do, they listen to this and they don't think anything. Oh, it was good, I heard it, and that was it. That's what mere humans do. I'm challenging you not to be ordinary, not to be average. Average is not good. I'm challenging you to say, okay, I have to go, like Faber just said, hashtag replay. And I like what Vaniqua does. Like Vaniqua, I don't know if she does. I don't think she listens to the whole 50 minutes at one time. What I think she does, she finds one thing and then she hashtag that one thing. And then I don't know if she keep listening on, but I like the idea of hashtagging it, taking that thought for that moment, meditate on it. How can me and this thought become one? How can I allow this thought to penetrate my thinking? How can I allow this thought to penetrate my mind to help me deliver different outcomes in my life? See, mere humans, oh, it was so good. You ask them 30 minutes later what they heard, they can't give you even the name of it. They can't tell you anything about it. And it's never going to change their life. And then next week, they're going to be presented with the same problem, and they're going to react in their emotions and feelings the same way, and nothing will change. Nothing will change. And I'm challenging you all. Hey, what's up, Antoinette Marie? Thank you for joining us. And I'm challenging you all to be more than a mere human. To see that your personal development and growth is more important than, watching The Bold and the Beautiful. I have no idea what's on TV. Or for me, watching the NBA playoffs. That your development, see your development as a priority in your life to say, okay, how can I unpack this thought so it can build different behaviors in my life? Ladies and gentlemen, the only difference between where you are and where you want to be is a set of belief that drives a set of emotions and feelings and decisions that drive the behaviors that you react today. If you want a different life, it's going to take a different mindset and it's going to take different behaviors. But the moment you start listening and you say, oh, I'm going to listen to it one time, I got everything out of it. No, you don't. No, you don't. Go get one thought. I'm not telling you to go back and listen to 58 minutes. I'm saying go get 6 minutes that you say I'm going to apply to my life this week. I guarantee you that'll be more than what the average human would do. The average human will hear it and then it's gone. They'll see me next week. I'm saying find you 6 minutes of this video and you say, I'm going to listen to this every day, 4 or 5 times a day until that thought becomes synonymous with my thinking. Renewing my mind. Come on, Beverly. I see you, ET, out there. The only reason I'm able to change my thoughts and finding those key words that speak. Come on, Vaniqua. Come on, Vaniqua. It is the only reason I'm able to change my thought is find those key words to speak to my I am. And you better believe it or not, I want the part you just said. Come on, man. Just pick 6, 7 minutes and say, I'm going to meditate. Don't matter. I ain't asking you to see. I'm about to get off this thing. I'm not going into a whole nother thought. I'm not going into a whole nother thought right here tonight. I'll be back with 3 ways to discipline your mind next week. But this is what I'm talking about. This is the go find what speaks to you. Oh, this part speaks to me. Go get it. Listen to it 7, 8 times and listen to it and just meditate on it. Think about it. Behaviors. How have these behaviors been manifesting itself in my life? What is it keeping me from having? What am I lacking? What is this behavior keeping me from that God has already given to me before the foundation of the earth? That the great I am is awakening my I am to. Go find that thing because your manifestation is on the other side of you becoming better. Yo, thank y'all for hanging in there with me. You all have been phenomenal and amazing. I think, hey, I got to say YouTube, I think, whoa, y'all, Facebook. And then I see I got a couple people on here from Periscope as well. I want to thank you all for joining me. I know several of you all hopped in late, man. Hashtag replay this thing on YouTube and or on Facebook. If you have not, please subscribe to my YouTube page, Williams Inspires. If you have not, sign, what they call it, like on Facebook. Like me at Williams Inspires on Facebook, y'all. We breaking bread every Motivational Monday. And I promise you all, when Q asked me a question the other day that was really good, once I get out of basketball season, I will be on here more than Mondays. But for right now, I'm dropping enough bread for you to eat on all week. And until next time, I am challenging you all to wage war on mediocrity. Thank you.
It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war.